I actively decided not to be that and not to do that because I had the feeling that if that is music, then I don't want to do it anymore. Hi, I'm Dottie, this is DIFFUS, and today we're going to talk about drinking gasoline.
What was growing up in Sweden like?
I come from a very small town of like 729 people. It's called Holsbybrunn. It was very peaceful growing up there. I was just used to having the forests on my front doorstep. I didn't miss to have a lot of people around. I think a lot of people is always stressful.
Why does your Spotify bio say you're a vampire?
I don't like to go in the sun. I have very big issues in the summer. Like, it's just not my environment. Like, I love the cold and the rain and like the damp autumn weather. So it has happened so many times that people would call me vampire, also because I like to dress black. I used to say like sleep is overrated and I still think sleep is overrated. So I think vampire fits it like just so perfectly.
Which music inspired you growing up?
I've always listened to pop music. I got really impressed also by the Swedish pop music. So actual Swedish artists like Veronica Maggio, like Kent, Miriam Bryant, just to say a few names. Every time I speak with producers, they tell me, you know, you can't always tell that someone is from Sweden from how they speak because they usually don't have an accent, but you can hear it in the melody. And I think that the Swedes in the industry have just a different approach to pop music, and that's something that I love. And I have absolutely a beating Swedish pop music heart, and that's the kind of music I'm looking to do and wanting to do.
How does playing the drums influence your music?
I do believe that studying drums gave me a different approach to creating music because I'm very much aware of the rhythm and everything. If there is something that's like not in the right rhythm, I will be like, please, let's correct this. Also with my voice, I'm very precise on how the stuff is phrased and sang.
How would you describe your sound?
I think describing sound is also difficult. That's why there is music. But I also hate comparing myself to other people, which is something that I've always stayed away from because people are like, well, who do you sound like? I sound like me. And if I don't sound like me, I'm not gonna like release any of it. But I always see myself as a pop music artist. And there's always different approaches to saying like, it's like indie pop, or it's just indie, or it's just pop. And there's so many subgenres. So I usually just say I'm a pop artist. Yeah.
Why is your EP called Drinking Gasoline?
I wrote a song called Being a Person, and I was singing belly aches like I drank gasoline, heartburn like I'm downing kerosene. And I am a person who like constantly and almost always has stomach pain or like belly aches, but also I had a long period of time in my life where I just felt uneasy and like uncomfortable, and I was thinking of something that you drink that is like burning, but it's not alcohol. And then I actually decided to Google what happens if you drink gasoline. And it's like eating up your organs, you know, it's like organ failure and partly blindness. You eventually die if you drink gasoline. But it's definitely a feeling of going through things that hurt, but actually coming out the other end still alive, you know.
Which role does songwriting play for you?
Music is a thing that's always been a constant in my life. And I think for me, writing is very therapeutical. Most days I'm walking somewhere, I'm just writing stuff out of me. The thoughts just form and then they go out and then they're out and then it's done. It's like really like ridding myself of some stuff. It just flows and it comes naturally. And that's when the best music happens, because it's like the universe is pushing out something through you. It's not me sitting there like, I need to do this and it needs to be like this or that way, because then it's a product and a machine, you know? And I feel like I also been in the machine of music, but I actively, a couple of years ago, decided not to be that and not to do that, because I had the feeling that if that is music, then I don't want to do it anymore.
How did the song title Garden Door come about?
I think a person is like an immense collection of different things, like a garden. I used to love the movie The Secret Garden about Mary Lennox, and I always really felt like her. And I was so impressed by this garden. And I'm not sure if there is a hole in the garden door there that they can peek through it, but I think there's a point in time in the movie where they can peek through like something and look into the garden. But I think in this case of the song, it might also be that something was like really protected and whole, and then suddenly there's something missing. You can look through it and see that it's like broken. I think that's also the imagery that I had in mind.
What's next for you?
I always have the next steps in my head. I'm a concept person. Like I'm always thinking of what can I do like this, or if I write a song, like what's the choreography gonna be like? What's the video gonna be like? What's the shooting gonna be like? I'm writing a lot at the moment, producing a lot. I have some songs in my pocket where I'm like, I need to share them immediately. I hate it that it always takes such a fucking long time in the music industry from like a song to releasing it, because you're sitting on it and you love it, and then you go crazy and you just want it to be out. Yeah, I'm excited.